Good morning. I just wanted to do a quick video and share something that crossed my mind this morning as I was I don't want to call it meditating. I just do a little bit of like internal, just quieting my mind and thinking a little bit in the morning and just kind of letting my thoughts flow. And this is what came to mind, so I wanted to share it with you. Before we get started, please like and subscribe. Please share my channel. Please comment whether you agree with me or not. I love having you here. Thank you so much for being here. And I love reading your comments. I love interacting with you. So thank you for that. So what I wanted to talk to you about today is that, guilt, shame, and condemnation are something that really plague a lot of people. I think that people sometimes operate out of guilt and shame and condemnation. And, we have an internal programming that takes place. That when we come into this world, I'm not sure. Some people say that we have a soul contract with other people that are in our lives. I'm not sure about that. I don't really have an opinion one way or the other, whether we actually kind of arranged with other souls or other beings to come into this world. Like, you'll be my mother, you'll be my son, you'll be this, play this role in my life and I'll play that role in your life. I don't know if we really do that. It's a concept, it's a theory, but it's something I haven't really explored for myself. But I do know that we have people in our lives when we get here, when we're born, we start right off the bat being programmed. We have an operating system. We have an internal operating system, and we are programmed by certain things that are said to us, things that are said about us. We learn by watching other people and how they behave towards others. We learn things right away from ages birth till 7 are the formative years, and that's really where our programming is taking place. We're starting to get those subconscious things buried deep down in there saying, this is who you are, this is what you're like. And we listen to a lot of people. We're just little children, so we listen to people telling us who we are. Our parents or somebody in our life might say, you're so messy, you never clean your room, or you're so this or you're so that, and then we internalize that, we absorb it, and it goes way down into the hippocampus, the amygdala. It gets stored down in there, and it ends up in our superconscious. Our subconscious mind keeps that in store. And that's kind of what I call our programming. Our core operating system is meant to be a light being. We are love and light. We are part of God. We are light beings. That's who and what we are. We're supernatural, unlimited light beings filled with love. But as we get programmed into this world, we start to think that I'm this and I'm that, and they told me, and we don't think about it as this is what that person told me. We think about it as we operate based on this is who I am. So we're not mature enough, and we don't have enough life experience yet when we're children to be able to deny that and just say, oh, well, you might think I'm messy, but I'm doing this for a reason. Now, some of us are more rebellious than others. I was a very rebellious child. So when my mom told me things about myself, I said, I am not that. So I kind of stood up for myself as a little kid, which didn't go well as a 3-year-old, putting my hands on my hips and saying, no, I'm not going to accept that. That didn't go too well, especially in my mom's day and age. She was raising children in the 60s and 70s. We were young during those times, and they had some books out on how to raise children. And it wasn't thought, children really weren't supposed to put their hands on their hips and go against the grain like that. But I did. That was me. And I gave my mom a really hard time, by the way. I blamed her a lot in my teen years for being too hard on me, but I was kind of a bad kid. So I can't say that I blame her for being strict with me. But most children don't stand up for themselves and come right out and say, you're saying this about me, but I'm not accepting that. I did at first, and then, somewhere in there things got in, and I absorbed things like, I don't finish things. I saw myself as a quitter. I saw myself as not ambitious. I saw myself as lazy or this or that, or, I kept my room clean and neat, but there were things that I did that I knew about myself that carried on into my adult life. But when we get older, we can't allow ourselves to operate out of guilt, fear, condemnation, shame, anything that comes from guilt, fear, condemnation, and shame, those are the things that we need to clean up in our system. We need to get rid of those things. Those things are what we call the devil. Those negative things that are said about us are what oftentimes cause us to commit outward sins. A lot of people go out there and they do external things trying to heal their internal operating system, and it doesn't work. And that's why the things that we call sin that are external, we need to be able to heal from the internal. That way, they do that in the program of AA. The 12-step program is really good at that. You know, you're not going to stop drinking like a maniac and, you know, drinking yourself half to death and losing your family and your job and everything else because you're drinking. You're not just going to stop that until you get down into what is causing that to happen. What is way down in your subconscious, in your superconscious? What is in the core of who you are that's causing you to want to do those destructive things? So if we're going to heal sin, which is the outward expression of our inner pain, if we're going to heal that and stop doing that, we need to get down in there into where it comes from. So when we're operating on those things, guilt, fear, shame, and condemnation, those things we're going to act that out. We want to operate in the fruits of the Spirit. We want to have peace, love, patience, kindness, forbearance, understanding, compassion, and I'm adding some of these to the actual fruits of the Spirit, but those are just the nature that we want to adopt. We want to adopt those things. We want to heal ourselves to be able to accept those for ourselves. We want to allow God and the all, the I am, the collective, the supportive all that is one with us to heal us, because we don't just do it all by ourselves. We don't just grit our teeth and, you know, and clench our fists and say, I'm going to heal myself. I mean, we can create healing. It's not something we are not able to do, but we are healing because we are part of that light, that source, that all. That is what is bringing our healing. So we can initiate that, and then we have to understand that we are healed. We are already healed people, and we are already whole, and we're already that loving light source. So once we know who we are, you know, somebody asked one day, you know, how do I stop this, or how do I prevent that, or how do I get better at this, or how do I, you know, get, I don't know, more cheerful in my life, I'm feeling down, or whatever it was that was going on, you know. And the answer to the questions of most inner pain is to know who you are. Just know who you are and walk in that. Walk in that. Anything that doesn't support you in love and in light is not who you are. So you've got to get down into your operating system and understand and sort it out and know, you know, when a thought comes into your mind, take it captive. Like Jesus said, take every thought captive to the obedience of Christ. And that means if a thought comes in and says, well, that's not going to be that way for you. It's everybody else is successful, but you're not because you are whatever. Or everybody else finds love in their life, but you won't because you are this. And when we capture those negative thoughts that are thoughts about us and we take those captive, the obedience of Christ is to know who we are. Take that thought that's negative about you and capture it and be obedient to Christ. He says that you are one with God, with Him, with each other, with the all, with the supportive, loving light, the supernatural, unlimited Spirit. Be that. So when you take those negative thoughts captive and you replace that with, no, I am part of God. I am one with Jesus, with everyone, with the support of all. I am supernatural and I am unlimited, and all things are possible for me because I am part of that. And it's really, really liberating. That's where the freedom comes in. That's the freedom of the Spirit. When we realize who we are and we start to walk in who we are, instead of allowing the words and the thoughts and the feelings that we buried way down in there into our subconscious, instead of allowing those to guide our behaviors and our actions through life and disrupt and dismantle and destroy our success and our happiness, we can get in there. And the way that we capture what's inside there that's negative is through our thoughts, because they will come up. Thoughts will come up. When I go to work every day, I have, all kinds of thoughts in my mind. The leads are coming in. Am I going to get a lead? Do I believe I'll get leads? Do I believe that I'll be successful? Do I believe this is going to go well for me? What do I believe? And if any thought comes into my mind that says something like, well, those leads are working for other people, but they're not working for you because you're getting the bad ones. No, that's not true. I will capture that thought and say, that's not true. I'm getting leads just like everybody else is. Well, they have more talent than you. No, they don't. I have experience, I have talent, and even if I didn't have talent, I would be doing just fine. I can read. I can do this job just like anyone else. And my thoughts want to compare me to other people. Oh, that person is top in the country and she's only been here for 3 months. You can never be like that. Oh, yes, I can. If I put my mind to it and I put the work into it like she did. I mean, she gets up at 6 in the morning and starts at 8 and doesn't stop until midnight. If I did that, I could certainly be like that. Work ethic has a lot to do with it. My actions have a lot to do with my success. So I'm not going to take those thoughts and let them tell me all about myself. I'm going to tell those thoughts all about themselves, like take a hike, because you return to sender. You don't belong to me. I know who I am and I know why I'm here. And so we have to walk in that. We have to have that confidence. And that is the Jesus confidence. That is what the freedom that he wanted us to experience. So if we can remember that, then any area of our life that is causing us any kind of pain, disruption, loss of success, or causing us to lose relationships, jobs, or self-confidence, or anything like that, take those thoughts captive. You don't have to get way down into the psychology of going to see a therapist for 3 or 5 years to be able to work on that and write in journals for years and years. Just understand that when one of those thoughts comes in, kick it out. That's not for you. That you don't belong to me. I don't know why you're here, thought. You're not mine, because I am part of the light. I'm part of God, the love, the all, the collective, the unlimited. That's who I am. So correct that thought. Correct it. Tell it that, hey, thanks for being here. I appreciate that you're challenging me. And one other thing I wanted to share is when people are in our lives, people like parents or siblings or friends or, enemies or anybody who's in our life, to forgive somebody, I truly believe that to forgive somebody or to forgive anything is to thank it for being here and being part of your growth. Forgiveness doesn't mean, you can continue to walk all over me. Forgiveness is to say, you know what? Thank you for that challenge. I appreciate that. Because if you weren't in my life to cause a little friction, I would have never had to climb that mountain. I would have never seen that thought. I would have never had that challenge that's pushing me toward greater things. So thank that challenge. Thank that person. You don't have to thank them outwardly. You don't have to say, thank you for being a challenge in my life. But in your inner heart, within yourself, anybody that is coming against you, whether you see, politicians, I know this world is just filled with politics right now. If you see politicians you can't stand, if you see people being just nefarious in the world, if you see things that are going on or people in your life who are causing you problems, inwardly thank them and say, I'm really glad you're here. Because without you, I might not have had to go through this challenge. And this challenge is really a good thing. This challenge is a good thing because I get to practice taking my thoughts captive and understanding that everything is love and light. Everything is great. Everything is going well. And I wouldn't have really had the opportunity to exercise that if you hadn't come along in my life and created that challenge for me. So thank you. If we thank our challenges and if we thank the people who challenge us inwardly for that challenge, then we have nothing to be upset with them about. They're here for a reason. They're just a challenge on the challenge board. And so if I'm walking along a trail and I'm exercising, and along the trail they have like pull-up bars and they have stair steps and they have, different things that you can do. They have stretches and if you've ever seen one of those walking trails that have these things that you can stop and do. And if I'm walking on a trail and they have like hurdles and things in the way, and if I'm hiking and I have like a big log or something to climb or things to go around, well, that just gives me more muscle, right? Whenever I have that little challenge course going on, without those challenges, I'm going for a walk. I'm just loping along. Not really, my blood pressure's just kind of staying where it is. I'm just kind of looking around, not really working anything out. But when I've got those challenges, Now I get to climb something. Now I get to swing on a rope. Now I get to, to do some pull-ups or do, step over something or get around something. That gives me greater health, better muscles, more confidence. So they call it a confidence course in the military for a reason. It builds confidence, because when you get through those challenges and you get done with that thing, you're like, yes, you feel like Superman when you're done with a military confidence course. You do feel confident. So those are what the challenges, the people who are challenging us, that's what they're like. They're like the little, exercise things on a confidence course. So thank them for being there and see what happens in your life. See if, as you're going through life and you're finding a challenging situation, get through it knowing who you are. Thank the challenges you're going through. Like, hey, if you weren't here, I wouldn't have to exercise my ability to fill in the blank. And thank them for it. So I just wanted to share that. I just think it's really important that we all know, not just that we should do this or that, but I like to try to figure out how. It's not just do this, take every thought captive, just do it. How do we do that? What does it look like? What does it do for us? Why should we do it? I like to ask those questions and answer them and then share them with you. So let me know what you think in the comments. Please share my channel. Please share your comments. Again, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're all having a great day, and I will see you next time.